What about the argument if, as a conservative, are you
Relative conservative?
moderate conservative?
Moderately conservative.
Is this, on one hand, some conservatives would say this is a classic example of intrusion from the federal government in an area where it shouldn't be sticking its nose, that we shouldn't be having dictation from the federal government to the states. Education is the prime example of where local government is the best government.
Well, I think in this particular instance, maybe there are occasions where the local governments aren't getting the job done in the exact way that the nation needs. You know, regardless of whether I'm specifically conservative or whatever, I think I'm practical. You know, when something works, it works. When something doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you have to fix it. The education system in this country was struggling. This seems to have helped us. If it's a federal program, then so be it. Let's just all be practical and try and solve problems and stop worrying about the name calling. And I think this is a program that really has worked. And I'm not for a zillion federal programs, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I think this one works.
One of the other hallmarks of the president's economic policy has been tax cuts. And what is your position on the president's tax cuts? And if it came to a vote, would you vote to extend those and make them permanent?
I sure would. Those tax cuts have been beneficial to our economy. I think time and time again, if you look at it honestly, mathematically, scientifically, that tax cuts tend to lead to higher tax revenues. They stimulate the economy, and they're usually very good for the economy. So I'm a guy who, you know, we've been all over this state today. That's why I've been around Illinois today, specifically talking about tax issues. And I feel like taxes need to be controlled. We don't need more taxes. We need no more new taxes. We need government to control its spending and be more efficient and be capable. And that's what we need. And we don't need any more taxes. No, you know how many new taxes are being proposed right now. This is getting intimidating for the average American. They're going to get taxed 3 different ways, depending on where they live. It's too much. It's just too much.
On the tax issues here, we have the capital gains being taxed. Some people say we should get away from taxing capital at all. I don't want to maybe get too narrow on that question. I don't know if you've thought of other changes you would make in the tax code as perhaps a better policy question.
Well, I'd like to see a simpler tax code. You know,
what about the flat tax? Is that something?
I think the flat tax is up for discussion. I think the fair tax proposals are up for discussion. I would like for the people of this nation to spend less than billions of hours on their taxes every year. I would like them to feel comfortable that they understand their taxes. I would like to feel comfortable if I give my taxes to 3 different tax preparers that I'll get the same tax return instead of 3 different ones. That is not exactly a secure situation for an individual who knows that the IRS can come back and come up with a different answer if they want, because it's so complicated. It's been the tax code is now 10 times the length of the Bible. That's insane. I'm sorry. We have to do something different.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your families.
Well, I've been married for 25 years to my wonderful wife, Nancy. Great wife, great mother, great campaigner, it turns out. She's just awesome. And I got 2 kids. I have a 24-year-old boy who works on the campaign. His name is Neil. He's a delight. And I have a wonderful young daughter, 22, just graduated from Indiana University. And she's doing some internship work. She's interested in radio and TV. And but she's talking about maybe going with us for a little while in this campaign. I think she's gotten a little intrigued with it.
What are your hopes for the campaign? How's it looking? What kind of reaction are you getting when you're out there in the field?
It's been very rewarding.
Because you've never run for anything.
I've never run for anything in my life. You know, I've done things within medicine, but not really elected. Well, I guess elected, but you know, positions within the medical profession. This is my first venture outside of there, and it's a delight to see people engaged, I think, at a higher level than they have been in the past. And they're certainly interested in my campaign, and we've come so far in such a short period of time. Who would not be greatly thrilled by what's been going on with this campaign? I mean, it's just kind of a grassroots thing that's just been going like crazy the last 4 weeks. I can't believe the changes. And so my wife and I, we're just both so pleased with what's been going on, and we see such great hope for change.
What are people telling you? What are they responding to? What are they telling you from their perspective needs to be changed within government?
Well, they want their health care fixed. That much is clear. They want their taxes controlled, and certainly they want their borders controlled. The one thing that's been so remarkable, I think, is the strength of people's feelings about the immigration issues. I would never have known how deeply people have felt and are feeling about this issue. It is almost overwhelming to go out there and talk to people about this issue. It means so much to them. And I think in a good way most of the time. I truly believe that...
When you say it means a lot to them, what are you hearing and what are your positions on immigration?
They want the borders closed. That's all they've asked for. Statistically and poll-wise, we know it's true. When have 75% of Americans agreed on a topic? I mean, in a very polarized world that we live in today.
Is that a division, or is that a position, I should say, between where you stand and Senator Durbin?
Oh, I think so. I think, I can't imagine having been in Washington, having known how the American people felt, and trying to pass and support an 800-page immigration bill that most of our society thought was amnesty.
Were you backing the president's position, or if not, whose positions are you, if anyone argues, you're just backing your own positions?
I'm backing my own position and the people's position. I feel I understand what people want here.
What would we get from Senator Sauerberg on immigration? What would the policy
Control the
be?
border. Right now, and as aggressively as you can.
What would you do about the immigrants who are already in America?
Well, what I do is let the United States, people of this country, want to see what happens when this border is controlled. They really do. People of this country aren't hasty. They're patient people. They want to see what happens when their borders are controlled. They know this is a complicated issue. They do. And they want to see what happens when their borders are controlled, and then they will be prepared to undertake a societal discussion about what's next. And what I think we get in trouble is when we have to rush ahead and have all the answers. Well, this is the answer they wanted. This is the answer they should get. And then we should see what we all think about it over time.
All right. Well, Senate candidate, I should say, Dr. Steve Sauerberg, we appreciate you taking time to share your thoughts with us on the Illinois Channel, and good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a good discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching the Illinois Channel, an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois. If you have any comments or questions on our programming, please email us at illinoischannel@aol.com. Or if you have any questions about the Illinois Channel, please visit our website at www.illinoischannel.org.